Hi, Joseph. It's April. I wanted to send you this link. I think it's going to be a little easier than typing out all of your feedback. So thank you for submitting your work. Great job on getting this together. Just a few things that I noticed that we definitely have to address, but I definitely applaud you for putting in your, all the elements that need to be in there, including your page numbers correctly. So that's good to see. There's only a few things that I noticed that aren't completely done correctly, but we can easily fix that. And one of which is I see that you're not using your character, your paragraph style, so we need to talk about that. And then also this body copy is not linked to this body copy box. So let's do that first, because I think that's easier to address. So what's nice about linking the boxes is if you do any changes or shifting of your box here, like say if you bump this up a little bit, this will definitely flow differently. So you're not going back and forth trying to fix the spaces and all that good stuff. So what I would suggest you do is go ahead and copy everything in here. Oh, it looks like you don't have to do your subheads in different boxes either. So what I'm going to do, might be easier to do it this way. I'm going to go ahead and copy that body copy again. Go ahead and delete what you have in here, and I'll show you how to do it correctly. So just delete and delete, select all, delete this. All right. Don't fret though. This is the easier way to do it. Okay, so you can keep that copy box in there and then just go ahead and paste all of that, the whole article in, not just pieces of it, the whole thing into the first copy box, okay? And then what you're going to do is see that little red box at the very bottom right? We're going to utilize that to link it to this box that you have here, okay? The copy box. So click off of here, click right on top of that red square, and it should look like this, a weird little side icon will look like that. Go ahead, scroll down to your page 2 and just click right into that copy box. And what that does is anytime that you make any type of shifts up here, and I'll show you in a second, I can get this out of the way. Like say if this copy box needs to shift up, it's going to reflow this, okay? So that should be linked. Now, those are the two boxes that need to be linked. Once you get to your second article on this page, you don't have to link this box with this box, with this page. This is the only thing that needs to be linked is this box with this box, okay? Once you do that, now we're going to set your paragraph and your character styles. So go ahead and bring those up. They're under Window, Styles, Character, and Paragraph. The character style box is to change only your headlines and your subheads. The paragraph styles is only to change your body copy. So let's do a paragraph style. Let's do a select all, Command A. It looks like you have body copy paragraph style here, but let's go ahead and I'll just run through this quickly so you can see how I would do it. So double click onto that box, you renamed it, which is great. Let's do like a Times New Roman just for purposes of showing you this. 10 by 14 is perfect. And then the only other thing I would change is an indent. So the first indent line, I would change this to 0.125. That just allows the reader to know when the next paragraph is to be read, and click OK. Once you have that set, it should change all of your copy from your linked boxes. And the only thing we need to do is create your character style for the subheads. So go ahead and select that, hit new character style. We're going to double click subheads. I'm going to change this to a different font. We'll do Arial and bold. And we'll do it just a little bigger, maybe like a 12. And then we're going to change the color too. We're going to make it green. Actually, let's just make it blue. It might be darker. Okay. And then click OK. And the only thing we need to do with that selected, we need to go to paragraph styles and just choose basic paragraph so we get that indent taken off, okay? So what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and select each of these, hit subheads in your character style, click basic paragraph. See how it's so nice. It just instantly gives you a very quick subhead that, you know, you otherwise had to go in and change separately. So it just saves time and is less headaches. Okay. Once you're done with that, just make sure your paragraphs are flowing nicely. You don't have any weird breaks. You know, all your spacing looks good. Let's see this side. It looks like we still have copy here. And it's sitting behind this picture. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. You can either pull this picture down to allow for the copy to be read. You can also put a text wrap on this. The text wrap is easy to do. You just go up to Window, Text Wrap, and you hit the second button here. And that just allows the text to wrap around it. And this is the space, you know, cushion of space you can actually allow for it around that. So you could do it that way, or because you have enough space here, you really don't have to do it that way. I would suggest going up to Object Fitting Fill Frame Proportionately just to fit this in here a little bit better. And then you could go and double click to move this around. And that looks good. Just make sure that your bottom elements are not getting too close to your page numbers. I would kind of bump those up a little. Ooh, I would take out that border. I don't think that's needed. You can even bleed this down on the bottom here. So let's take out my guides and show you what it looks like. So it looks pretty good. I would maybe move this up a little bit so it's away from the type. You want a little bit more space there. Let's move this stuff. You just want it to be, you know, have enough margin space in between. So that looks pretty good. That looks good. Now, the only other thing that you're going to need to do, which is explained in the last lecture that I posted. Sorry about that. My dog got into something. Is you're going to need to have a space somewhere here for your table contents. So you're going to need to kind of move some things around and shift some things around. You have a lot of space to work with since this is so big up here. So what you could do is just go ahead and make this a lot smaller. Where this will fit in a little easier if you kind of redo the shape here. You might have to redo some of this too, because I'm not sure if this is going to work, but this is definitely going to have to come up. Maybe in this instance, you use more of a horizontal picture. And I believe there is one in there in the assets folder. Yeah, maybe this one. I mean, you could still use this picture, but I'm giving you an option if you want to shift this around so that you have more space up here, because we have to have at least I'm going to change this to 2 columns. Some room for the table contents. So if you moved all of this over, for instance, like this, now you have room for table contents here. And like I said, I did a little demo yesterday on how to create the table contents. So definitely go and check that out. If you have questions, you can review that, but you will need to kind of make room for that. And then what I would do, and that's what's nice about having these boxes linked, and this needs to have a text wrap on it, because you have more control. You do have one. Okay, good. Pull this in just a little bit so it meets more of the margins. You have a little bit more control of how things flow, you know, from page to page. And this should have a text wrap on it. Why isn't this wrapping? Let's see here. Text wrap. Yep. It's really weird. Oh, because it doesn't have anywhere to go. If it doesn't have anywhere to go beyond the link, that's when you have the issue. But you can definitely move this around. It's going to bump, you know, wherever it needs to bump. Just make sure everything is on the same baseline. This needs to come up. And it still looks like we need room. Let's pull this up a little bit. Oh yeah. We still have some space we need to pull up. Just make sure you have all the copy in there. There we go. That's more like it. All right, so that would be something that you could do. Just, you know, fix any type of widows. Here's a widow, for instance, here's a widow. We would have to fix that. Here's an extra space. We don't need that. Just kind of pay attention to how everything's wrapping and fix any widows and bad breaks like this. And that what you would do is just do a shift return on certain words to bring that all down. This is a bad break too. I would probably pull this up. Actually, let me pull this down a little bit. There we go. Bumping down that line. Just make sure all the baselines match. Okay. And that's going to bump everything on this line. We need a break after this one. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So make those changes. Make sure you're linking your text boxes. You're using your paragraph styles, making room for the table of contents this week. I would probably break this into 2 or 3 columns. 2's fine if you want to just do 2, just because it's too long of a line length. And then again, just make sure you're utilizing the body copy style guide or style that we set this to. Pull this down just a little bit. Another thing is you can set your headlines too. Like for instance, this headline can be a separate character style. So let's go ahead and select that, create new, and we're going to name this headline. And we're going to do, what did we do? No, we didn't do times, we did Arial, bold, and let's make this real big. Let's do 32. And then you could change the color here too. So if you wanted to do like the blue again, keep it consistent, click OK. And it's not going to show because my box isn't big enough. And then if you ever need to, and let's do basic paragraph so it doesn't, if you ever need to edit it, just double click on it again. Like say if we want to do we have Arial condensed? No, I want a condensed font. Let's do a little smaller then. Let's do 24. That's perfect. Okay, pull this down a little bit towards the copy. There we go, and then that kind of fits. Take the stroke off of this. You don't really need the stroke. You don't have it on your other one. Same with this. You have a black stroke on both of these. Keep it simple. All right, and that looks good. And then I would just fix any type of weird, like I said, different weird breaks here. I would probably fix any widows. I just fixed that. And there you go. So then next, or this week, after you make those revisions, you could easily make the same, you know, the same style sheet for your body copy will be what you'll be using for this side. So you'll be using the second article. And if you need extra information on that, like I said, I posted that recording. So hopefully this helps.